What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Mars. Today we are going to tune the Syclone in the background. Super happy they finally gave us the truck again. I mean, I don't know why it didn't come out with the game, but we finally got the Syclone. Really nice truck. It's actually one of my favorite trucks because you can make it rear-wheel drive. You can pretty much do a lot of things with it. You can drift it, you can drag race it, you can do roll racing. All these things you can do with the truck. So I'm gonna show you guys 3 tunes out of all the engines you can put into it. So like always, everybody new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and let's get right to it. So we got the 91 Syclone right in the background here, the GMC by GMC, of course. Let's go to the upgrades. The first engine that we're going to do is let me show you guys. Let's go to the engines here real quick. So the first engine I'm gonna show you guys is going to be the 6.2 liter V8. This one I made it rear wheel drive for the people that like to do the quarter-mile drags. This is a really good car. It fits the weight, distributes for it. Also 1,000 horsepower is really good. The original engine only gets you around like 660 fully built, so not that good. But besides that, you have a lot of really nice engines you can slap on this thing, like this one here, the 6.2 liter V8. You also have a diesel engine you can put in this thing. This would have to be all-wheel drive, of course, with all that torque coming out the line. But yeah, really cool diesel engine in the GMC. Looks really cool. Then you have the Viper engine. You can slap on that. V10 in there. You have the 2JZ Racing 2JZ engine you can put on that. That's 1,200 horsepower. Then you have the really nice Racing 7.2 liter, that's going to be the next engine that we're going to do. This engine here is going to have 1,300 horsepower. And finally, the massive 7.2 liter or 7.4 liter V8 twin turbo with 1,700 horsepower. That's going to be our last engine there. The last 2 engines that I'm going to show you guys are all going to be all-wheel drive so that they can grip a lot better. Also, the truck comes all-wheel drive, so it just makes it that better. That it already comes all-wheel drive, and it still spins. So just imagine the back end on that bed there doesn't weigh as much. So I'll show you guys all that. So let's start off with the 6.2 liter V8 in it. 1,000 horsepower fully built here without the oil and cooling. We don't need that oil and cooling, so 1,000 horsepower there. 846 on that torque, and it weighs 2,700 pounds. As you guys see, it is rear-wheel drive, so it's really nice. A lot of people are going to drag race with this thing in the quarter mile. So of course I had to make it for you guys that do that. Of course, put in the twin turbo so we can get the anti-lag, also get longer top end, or higher top end as I should say. Let's go to the build here. Make sure to put all the parts on here race. The only thing you're not going to put is the oil and cooling for this engine. So it has an oil and cooling that only gains 9 horsepower. No need for it for only that little 9 or 8 horsepower. Besides that, all the parts on here, as you can see, there it is. And look at the difference. Gain a lot of weight for no reason at all. So no need for it. You can put that intercooler on there, of course. And let's go right over here to the rest of the builds on the brakes. Of course, race on there. We're going to use rally suspension. Best suspension to use. The soft suspension is really good to distribute the power all around. Besides that, the rest of the parts are going to be raced, like the full weight reduction and no roll cage. No need for that. No need for the roll cages. Now that we have drag tires, we don't need the roll cages anymore. Let's go right outside. Let's go right over here, and we're going to leave this stock because it is already a race transmission in stock. So if you just leave it in stock, you can still adjust all the gears. You don't have to put the 6-speed. No need for it. And let's go right over here. Of course, we're going to put this one race because it's an option, and also this one here is a race as well because it's also an option to put there. Besides that, right to the tires, make sure to put the drag tires. Do not put semi-slicks, put these correct drag tires. When it comes to the width in the front, nothing. Leave it alone at 245s. And then we got real massive 325s in the rear. So that's super happy that you can put some really nice wide tires in the back of this thing. Then they gave us this bigger wheel. Actually, you can put the bigger front wheel, give it that stance look to it. No need for it. If you guys want to just do it on the all-wheel drive 1,700 horsepower, you guys probably can pull off it. But no need for it. Also, besides that, any wheels you guys want that are super light, make sure to slap on those wheels. I put these speed lines on it because it just looks pretty cool on it. And that is it. The paint job, I got it from the storefront. So if you guys want to get it, it's probably the #1 paint job, I think it was. So you can just grab it from the storefront there. And as you guys see, the size of the rims, just leave it alone and no need for the spacers at all. Besides that, nothing with this. And this is actually a really big thing to use. roll a lot. It was always like a good thing or not, because remember the back of the bed there doesn't weigh as much. Well, by adding this wing on there, it's adjustable. It does give it more pounds of weight to the rear there, dropping it down. So you can have a lot stronger of a 60 foot by having this. So it's a real nice thing for you guys to mess around with. If you guys want to make your own separate tune with this spoiler on there, give it a shot. Use the same exact gear ratios, but slap on this here and then adjust it and see how your car performs. You might get a lot stronger of a 60 foot on first gear, making your first gear a lot shorter, which is good to get your nice, have a car in front of the other person. So it's really good. It was used a lot in Horizon 4, so you can still use it in this game here now. But for the video, of course, we're not going to do it right now. But for you guys that want to experiment, definitely use that spoiler on there. Let's go right over here. We got 35 in the front, 15 in the rear on the tire pressures. And let's go right to the tire, the tires, the gears. We got final drive at 220. First gear is 380. Then we got second gear at 255. Third gear is 190. Then we got 145. And finishing off in fifth gear, that at 105. So as you see, stock gear ratios, you can still adjust the gears. Zero everything out in 7. Then we got 65, 65 in these anti-roll bars. Since we're not turning or anything, just made them 65, 65. No need to change them at all, actually. And then you can put the car all the way to soft. So I went higher in the rear, and then I realized it was gripping for shorter gears at a softer a softer rear there on the springs. Besides that, the vehicle's raced all the way up, so it likes it that way. And then 1, 9.1, 9, and 1. So kind of like an equal distribution there on the rebound and bump stiffness. Nothing with this or this, and 100 and 100. So that is it. I'm gonna take you straight to the quarter mile. Hopefully it's not raining. I believe it rains like every second. So let's try to see that it's not raining or wet. And then it looks like it's about to. So let's go and fast travel there to the other area. Hopefully there is not raining. So let's go fast travel there to the quarter mile. So this is mainly a quarter mile tune. You guys can actually use the rest of the gears to do the half a mile, or roll race it or drive it around. You guys can do that as well. So let's go before the rain drops down. Yeah, let's go. Make sure to always get those tires hot. I'll show you guys my main settings, what I use. Got the anti-lag on there popping in the background. So this little pole right here is the quarter mile. You put the kind of the front bumper there to the half of the pole. Let's go right to the settings here. These are the settings you want to use on a rear wheel drive or all-wheel drive or whatever. Make sure to just be standard on steering wheel. Just makes it easy, guys. If you guys go on simulation, it makes your car spin, especially if it's rear wheel drive. Simulation is good for like all-wheel drives, front-wheel drives, things like that. But just to be on the safe side, just go standard. Just go standard on the steering wheel. Don't know why this affects your gripping at all. But just go standard. Make sure to be manual with clutch. Turn everything else off, as you guys see. And I have the launch control on, which I'm going to turn off for the rear wheel drive V8 version, the 6.2 liter. So now we're here. Let's get these tires hot. Reverse burnout, best burnout to do, especially when you're rear wheel drive. Do a nice reverse burnout there. There we go. Got the tires hot, as I should. And boop. And then it's going to be e-brake, gas, and clutch. So what that means is when you press the e-brake and gas, your RPM needle is going to shoot up. When you see that RPM needle shoot up, then you press down the clutch. Just like that. Now we got 22 pounds of boost. I can tap on the clutch. And then what that does is gets it a little bit higher in RPM sometimes. And all you got to do is let go of the e-brake and clutch. And there you go, guys. It grips really nice. Made the gears a little bit longer, just so that everybody can be able to use the car. And then you guys are able to grip it. As you guys see, almost 168 there on the track speed in the quarter mile, which that's pretty good. That's honestly really good there. Anything that does 168s to 170s are pretty good, standard for a lot of the drag racing cars, drag racing scene. So this car is really competitive with a lot of the other models. But yeah, there you go, guys. Consistency there at the 167s. So a real nice fine tune. You can get it to the 168s. Remember, putting that wing in the back end there can lower your 0 to 60 there by adding some weight pretty much to the rear. And as you guys see, the car has a nice little hop tune or a hop launch there. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. Consistent numbers there. So now let's load up the second tune, which I gotta go to the let me just load it up now, and then I'm gonna show you guys the build after I show you guys the tune before it rains. So let's go. The next one is a 1300 horsepower. This was all-wheel drive, so we're gonna slap in that. Let's load that in. Remember, all the tunes are in the storefront. You guys can just find it there by looking up my name on the top left corner, or I'm gonna post them up no matter what in the video, like always. So now we're all-wheel drive. I'll show you guys the tune for the all-wheel drive. And that is where the tunes now over here. That is 1515 tire pressure, right? Then you got final drive at 220. First gear is 380. Then we got 260, 180, 130, and 1. So that is it. Very simple. Honestly, the rest of the gears from second and on, besides fifth and sixth, they were about the same as what the car started with. It's just that final drive, making it at 220, helped out tremendously with adjusting the rest of the gears. And then that first gear, I have it that you can use the launch control on it. So I just wanted you guys to use the launch control, just so you guys can enjoy it. You know, have fun with the launch control. That's why both of these tunes are also going to have the launch control. Zero everything out in 7. Then we got 1 and 1. Then we got stiff in the front all the way and soft all the way in the rear. And the vehicle race all the way to the sky. And then we got 20, 15, 2, and 2. So a lot stiffer there in the front than it is in the rear. But all that power is going to the rear. Nothing with this or this. And 100, 0, 100, 0, and 65. So that is it there with the tune for the 1300 horsepower. As you guys see, all the way raised or all the way lowered, it actually kind of gets you really nice 0 to 60s. But there you go, guys. It's already getting wet on the floor. So I'm just going to show you guys a real quick launch with it. Make sure to turn on now your launch control. So we're going to go here to the difficulty, and now we got launch control on. So just like that, launch control is on. The floor is even more wet now, but I'm going to show you guys the launch either way. It's probably going to spin, of course. It's wet now, but yeah, really easy. All you have to do is press E-brake and clutch, just like that. You're going to have about 11 pounds of boost at 3,300 RPMs. All you got to do is let go of that. First gear will spin like a little bit, and then you can just transition to second, and then third, and going to fourth there, finishing off at fourth gear at 206, 207. I kept doing 207s consistently with 1300 horsepower, so you can't go wrong with that at all. 1300 horsepower with it, with the launch control on it. Really easy, just e-brake and gas. If you guys want, make sure to get the tires hot just a little bit more, so like that it grips even more on that first gear. And really nice, man. I love this truck. Ever since they brought out this truck, a lot of people use it. A lot of people want to get it, so make sure to get it. To get it, you do have to do 20 points in the festival. As you guys see, I did 20 points. I did all these races here, got the 20 points, and then that's how I did it. So let's go right in here really quickly, show you guys the build for it with the 1300 horsepower, and then we're going to do the final engine, which is that 1700 horsepower V8. So as you guys see, we have the 7.2 liter V8, and of course we got twin turbos, and as you guys see, it's all-wheel drive. That's the way the truck comes. And let's go right over here. We're going to just put all the parts race. So it's really easy. Just put all the parts race, guys. And then when it comes towards the tires and everything like that, it's exactly the same as the rear-wheel drive. So when it comes towards the brakes and the suspension is rally, all that good stuff, full weight reduction. That's why I'm going fast, because all of this is exactly the same as the first build. And then when it comes towards here, this might change a little bit on the when it comes towards the all-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive. So you got to go to race on here in the transmission, and then race everything else like you guys saw. So it's just a little bit different when you go from rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive. Make sure to get the stickiest tires, drag tires. Then we got no width in the front and full width in the rear at 325s. Slap on whatever wheels you guys want, and make sure to leave the size alone at 16s front and rear. And that is it. That is it for that one. So now let's go and load up the final tune, which is that 1700 horsepower one. I'll show you guys the build of that. So let's load that monster of a tune. And there you go, guys. 3 really nice tunes you guys can use. You got the 1000 horsepower, 13, and now 1700 horsepower. Really nice. Love this truck. Super. It doesn't weigh as much, so using that spoiler in the back is going to help out. and benefit you guys a lot. So coming over here, there we go, guys. V8 twin turbo 7.4, 1700 horsepower now, weighs 2,900 pounds, and of course, as you see, it's all-wheel drive. And this is already a turbo car, so all you're gonna do is put the anti-lag, and that is it. That's how you get that 1700. The only thing that I did do is put full front tire width. I was kept realizing that with the 1300 horsepower, the car was still, the truck was still spinning a little bit. So I decided on doing width in the front, and still with the width in the front, finally got it to grip that first gear there. But yeah, as you see, all the parts are just going to be raced when it comes to the transmission. Same exact concept with the all-wheel drive. So there we go, just all, you know, race. And then the biggest key was making the front tire width wider. So I went 285s in the front, and then we got the rear, of course, 325s. And again, any wheels you guys want, no need to go bigger in the sizes at all. So that is it. Let me show you guys the tune for this one now. The final tune is 1515. And then we go 220. All these gears are super long. They're at 230, 170, 130, 105, and 0.85. So as you see, the rest of the gears, like, they're all like pretty close with each other. But yeah, this first gear will grip for you, and it will just go. The rest of the gears are real nice and smooth, and it traps pretty good. Traps pretty good. Zero everything out and 7, 1 and 1. We got stiff in the front, soft in the rear, and it's raised all the way up. So just max, raise all the way up. And then we got 20, 15, 2 and 2. Same exact concept there with a stiff in the front, soft in the rear. Nothing with this or this. And 100, 0, 100, and the same exact thing. At 65 there towards the rear. So that is it. Let's bring it outside. Hopefully it's worse. This probably is going to be worse. Let's see. Now it's got like a thunderstorm outside. That's how it is with the rain on the game. Alrighty, so now we're at especially night with the floor wet. Same thing, launch control is going to be on. So let's go over here, and all you gotta do is press e-brake gas. It's gonna be a lot higher now because that first gear is a lot longer. We got 20 pounds of boost at 47, 4600 RPMs. And just let go of the e-brake. There you go. It was even gripping there with the floor being wet. So imagine how it is when it's not wet. There you go, guys. This thing, gears are really nice. I kept doing a 223 on the trap speed with a truck. That is really nice to do those kind of numbers with a truck. As you guys know, trucks are not known for being aerodynamic, but yes, doing really good with the truck. Really enjoying this truck. Hopefully, all you guys have this truck and can enjoy it. Now you guys finally have drag tunes for 3 different engines. And like always, everybody new to the channel, hit the subscribe, and I'll see all you guys around with another drag tune video. Peace out, everybody.